To read the mind of anyone, you need to know 3 techniques. These techniques are crucial to master. By mastering these methods, you can effortlessly discern and grasp what anyone is pondering. So, let me tell you a Stoic tale that will teach you how to read the mind of others. In a small village, a long time ago, 2 brothers lived. The older brother was blind, so he spent most of his time at home, while the younger brother worked as a farmer. However, their farm was constantly being destroyed by the many animals in the fields. The younger brother was troubled by this problem, but he eventually came up with a solution. He thought, why not ask my blind brother for help to scare away the animals in the fields? He can sit in the field and shout if he hears any animal sounds, and this way our crops will be saved. After thinking about it, the younger brother built a small hut in the field and placed the elder brother inside it. He explained to him, "Brother, if you hear any animal sounds, just shout, and the animals will run away. This will save our crops." The elder brother agreed to his younger brother's idea and began sitting in the field. Whenever he heard the sound of animals, he shouted and scared them away. They continued this practice for many days. Once, in a field, a deer dashed through, breaking the fence as it fled. Shortly afterward, a king in pursuit of the deer arrived at the scene. Spotting a blind man nearby, the king inquired, "Have you witnessed a deer passing through here?" The blind man responded, "Your Majesty, I am visually impaired. How could I have seen a deer? Nevertheless, I can assure you that the creature fleeing my field is not worth your pursuit. You would be squandering your time." The king, taken aback by the blind man's assertion, probed further, questioning how he could be so certain. Doubting the blind man's honesty, the king pointed out the contradiction in his claim of blindness, yet commentary on the deer's worthiness. In reply, the blind man clarified, "Your Majesty, what you perceive as a deer is actually a pregnant doe. It would be unprecedented for a king to hunt such a creature, hence I advise against it." The king, astonished by this revelation, grappled with how a blind person could discern the pregnancy of the deer. He wondered, how does a blind man possess this knowledge? How can he confidently determine the pregnancy of the deer I pursue? Feeling the need to verify this assertion, the king instructed his commander, saying, "Commander, I want that creature captured alive. I must ascertain whether it is indeed a pregnant doe. The blind man appears convinced, and I feel compelled to investigate. Please go and confirm its condition." The king's orders were received by the commander, who proceeded. When he came back, he told the king that the blind brother was correct and that the doe was pregnant. The king was filled with wonder and couldn't figure out how the blind person had known about the doe's pregnancy. The king had many questions in his mind and decided to ask the blind man to get to the bottom of this. "Look, I may not know whether you are truly blind or not, but I have come to ask you one thing. Will you give me the correct answer to my question?" In response, the blind brother said, "Your Majesty, you can ask me anything you want, and I will answer you truthfully." The king said, "You are a wise man, and you seem to have a keen understanding of many things. Today, I have called you to find out whether my wife is faithful to me or not." The blind brother responded, "Your Majesty, what kind of question is this? Your marriage has lasted for many years, and now you want to know such things. Why are these questions arising in your mind?" However, the king insisted, saying, "You must answer this question. If you do not provide me with an answer, I will punish you with the death penalty." Hearing the king's threat, the blind brother said, "Your Majesty, if you want the answer to this question, you will have to do me a favor." The king asked, "Tell me, what do I need to do?" The blind brother responded, "For that, you will have to leave your wife alone with me in a room." The king was initially angry upon hearing it, but he eventually agreed to the request and ordered his commander to leave the blind brother and the queen alone in a room. At that moment, the blind brother expressed his desire to touch the queen. Upon hearing this, the queen became furious and started beating the blind brother with her hands, feet, and all her might. Afterwards, the blind man somehow managed to escape and went to the king. Then the blind brother told the king, "Your Majesty, your wife is unfaithful." The king, enraged, drew his sword and went to the queen. Then the king asked a question, warning her that any falsehood would lead to her execution. He asked if she was faithful or not, to which the queen replied, "Your Majesty, you may as well kill me, but I am not faithful." The king was overjoyed because everything the blind brother had said was true. Upon hearing this, the king immediately went to the blind brother and asked, "How did you know that my wife is not faithful?" The blind man replied, "Your Majesty, it's quite simple. I told your wife that I wanted to touch her, and she became so enraged that she started beating me. When I told her that I wanted to touch her, she could have refused, but instead she began to beat me, and in the process, she touched my entire body. Now you tell me," he continued, "how can such a woman be faithful?" The king acknowledged, "You possess great wisdom. Very well, let us proceed." He continued, "Answer one more question correctly, and I will grant you your freedom." Then, turning to the blind brother, the king posed, "Tell me, am I truly the son of my father, or is there another lineage I should know of?" In response, the blind brother advised, "Your Majesty, why trouble yourself with such inquiries? Regardless of your parentage, you hold the throne of this realm. Let go of this question." However, the king persisted, saying, "No, I must have a definitive answer to this query. Otherwise, it will continue to weigh on my mind. I seek the truth." The blind brother responded, "Your Majesty, I can tell you right now whose child you are, but before that, I want you to promise that you won't get angry with me." The king said, "I promise I won't get angry with you." Then the blind brother said to the king, "You are indeed your father's son, but you are also under the shadow of a miserly merchant." Upon hearing this, the king rushed to his mother and asked her, "Mother, please tell me the truth. Am I truly my father's son or someone else's? If you don't tell me the truth, I will give up my life." To this, the king's mother said, "Son, you are indeed your father's child, but you are also under the shadow of a miserly merchant." Upon hearing this, the king was delighted and immediately returned to the blind brother. "How did you know that the shadow of a miserly merchant was on me?" The blind man replied, "Your Majesty, you asked me many questions, and I gave you the correct answers to all of them. If you were any other king, I would have received many rewards by now, but you haven't given me a single penny so far. It was from this that I estimated that you are very stingy." The king burst into laughter and declared, "Ask for whatever you desire, and it shall be granted. But tell me, how do you discern between right and wrong? How do you offer such astute and precise responses?" In reply, the blind brother elucidated, "Your Majesty, my blindness is inherent. Were I sighted, I could effortlessly decipher the thoughts of others. The mind communicates through its own language, evident in the gestures, expressions, and actions of an individual. By observing the movements of their eyes, the formation of their lips, and their overall conduct, one can decipher the inner workings of their mind. Based on this, we can know the thoughts of anyone. But I am blind, so I perceive through actions. If I want to know something, I have to assign a task to the next person to see how that person works and how he does the task. And based on that, I can understand what is going on in his mind." The king asked, "So does that mean I can also know someone's thoughts?" To this, the blind brother said, Certainly, you too can understand anyone's thoughts. But before that, you need to work on yourself. And that work is to calm your mind and bring your mind into the present. For that, today, I'm going to tell you 3 ways, and these 3 ways are very easy and simple. But Your Majesty, before that, you have to do one thing: focus your mind. When we focus our mind and merge our mind into the present, we can understand the thoughts of others because that person is thinking in the present, and we also have to bring our minds into the present. Only then can we understand their thoughts. If we are thinking about past events, how will we know what the next person is thinking in the present? Because we are immersed in past events. To know anyone's thoughts, first and foremost, we need to focus our minds and bring them into the present. After that, the blind brother told the king, "Your prayer, yes, Your Majesty, I will tell you the 3 ways by which you can easily understand anyone's thoughts." The blind man continued, addressing the king, "O king, the primary technique lies in observing the eyes. When engaging in conversation, it's crucial to maintain eye contact, for while eyes may not utter words, they convey volumes. By discerning the signals within a person's gaze, we can discern their thoughts, intentions, and forthcoming actions. I don't have eyes myself, but I learned this skill from the teachings of Stoicism many years ago. He was my teacher and guide. I used to have eyes back then, and I could understand people's thoughts solely through their eyes. So if you also want to know the thoughts of others, you should focus on their eyes, such as their gaze, where they are looking, and in what direction. If their eyes are wandering here and there when you're talking to them, it means they are searching for a way to escape from the conversation, and someone might be lying. If the person is avoiding direct eye contact, it means they're afraid that their lie might be exposed, and people will learn the truth. But if their eyes look at you without moving, they are probably honest and interested. They want to talk to you and share their thoughts. Furthermore, observe the movement of their eyebrows. Should their brows furrow while their gaze shifts, they may be grappling with deep thought or concerns beyond the conversation. Conversely, if their brows lift and their eyes widen, they could be experiencing surprise or curiosity regarding your words. Additionally, take note of the size of their pupils, the dark center of the eye. Dilated pupils suggest affinity towards you or agreement with your statements, signifying excitement or contentment. If the pupils get smaller, it means they don't like you or what you say. They are uncomfortable or angry. Also, see how red or white their eyes are. The white part of the eye is called the sclera. If the sclera is red, it means they are tired, stressed, or sick. They might not want to talk to you. I remember a time when I met a tired person who was traveling. When we talked, his eyes looked around a lot, never looking at me. This showed that he was worried and wanted to go away fast. I thought he might be hiding something. He did not want to talk to me. Likewise, various facial expressions offer insight into a person's inner thoughts. Often, individuals convey a range of emotions through their facial demeanor. By attentively observing these expressions, one can discern whether someone feels disillusioned, deeply sorrowful, or exceedingly jubilant. Furthermore, these expressions unveil their internal emotional state, providing cues to their feelings and sentiments. Your Majesty, the face is like a picture that shows what people are feeling inside, even if they don't say anything. If you want to understand people better, you have to pay attention to these silent signs. When you see someone whose mouth turns down at the sides, making a small sad face, it usually means they are unhappy, not pleased, or have lost something. You can also tell by their eyes and their body if they are feeling low. Conversely, a genuine wide smile, one that engages both the eyes and cheeks, serves as a clear indication of happiness, warmth, and goodwill. The eyes play a pivotal role in this expression. When they narrow and sparkle, it confirms the authenticity of the smile. Additionally, observe the area between a person's eyebrows where the skin may furrow. If this region exhibits deeper, tauter wrinkles, it often signifies confusion, deep contemplation, or efforts to grasp something intricate or unfamiliar. The way the mouth is can tell you a lot. A mouth that is closed and squeezed may mean they don't agree, don't like something, or don't want to talk. But a mouth that is open and relaxed means they are open, comfortable, and ready to talk. As you get better at seeing and understanding these signs on the face, you'll be able to know what people are thinking and feeling inside, whether they say their feelings out loud or keep quiet. Their faces will show you what's in their heart. Your Majesty, I will tell you a story. One time I met a sad person who came to me for help, but they acted like they didn't care. But I saw a small line on their forehead. It showed they had a problem. I asked them to tell me their problem, and they did. They felt better after that, and I helped them. A real smile makes the eyes happy too. It means they are glad and kind. A frown makes the eyebrows go down. It means they are worried or confused. The eyebrows go up when they are surprised or curious. You can tell how they feel by looking at their face. Continuing, the blind brother told the king about the third method, saying, "Your Majesty, there is a third language too, which is the language of gestures and body language. To understand a person's thoughts, we need to understand hand gestures and body language. When a person speaks, you may have noticed that they keep moving their hands and making gestures. In addition to words, their body language plays a significant role in conveying what a person is thinking. Your Majesty, the body and hands possess a silent language, conveying myriad messages without uttering a word. It's akin to a covert form of communication, where subtle actions unveil people's desires and emotions. Consider, for instance, when someone briskly taps their fingers while conversing. This rapid movement may suggest boredom, impatience, or a desire to swiftly conclude the discussion. I remember a time when I met a person who wanted to sell me something, and he did this sign. I knew he was nervous, so I made him give me a better price, and he was surprised. Also, when someone crosses their arms, they might not like you or what you say. They are hiding their thoughts from you. This way of holding their arms is like a wall, keeping their thoughts and feelings safe from others. By seeing this sign, you can be nice and careful when you talk to them and make them feel more comfortable and open. When someone leans forward, they might be interested in you or what you say. They are listening to you carefully. This means they are interested and want to hear more. This way of moving their body shows they want to listen, learn, and understand what you are saying. I once met a smart teacher who did this. He was very calm, but he leaned in with interest, showing he wanted to know more about the topic. Sometimes people who touch their faces a lot when they talk to you can help you know what they are thinking. It often means they are worried, thinking hard, or having a big idea. These small touches show you what is going on in their mind and heart. To be good at understanding others by their body and hands, you have to be patient, watch carefully, and appreciate the things they don't say. These small but important signs, like a quiet book, show you the feelings and thoughts that are hidden inside them and let you connect with them better. If we pay attention to these three methods and understand them correctly, we can quickly know what's going on in a person's mind, how much attention they are giving to our words, and what's happening in their mind. However, to achieve this, one must first center the mind and anchor it in the present moment. Only then can you effectively observe these actions, comprehend their significance, and glean insights into the individual's mindset. Conversely, if the mind remains entangled in past occurrences or future plans, it becomes impossible to attend to the nuances of someone's body language, thereby hindering understanding of their thoughts and intentions. You may have encountered numerous enlightened individuals and saints who possess a serene demeanor and possess the ability to discern your inner thoughts and the lessons you seek from them. This remarkable skill stems from their capacity to attune to you and grasp your essence, facilitated by their focused and tranquil minds. Consequently, they effortlessly grasp the intricacies of your thoughts. As we conclude this journey, the Wisdom Insights team wishes to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your unwavering support throughout. Your dedication to this endeavor underscores the transformative potential of knowledge, for it has the profound ability to enrich and uplift one's life.